Hello. How are we doing? I think we'll skip the intro today because I haven't made one in 2 weeks and it's kind of repetitive. But here we are, it's Easter. Happy Easter. And we're still game deving because I've got to finish these mods, man. It's been a busy week. I haven't had much chance to do much game dev. I've been focusing on real life. But now we have a moment because it is a public holiday and the family gatherings are over, so we can do what we want for however long we want. The chores are taken care of. And it's, what is it, 6:30 a.m? It's nice and early. Birds are chirping. It's not too hot, but this room, man, it cooks. So, where were we up to? I believe the last time we were looking at this, we had worked on like a crest or a modification system, and within that system, we had gotten to the point where we can view the menu, and we can equip and unequip visually, but I don't think anything's happening on the back end, and nothing is happening to our player. So none of this matters right now. It's just a visual representation of what this could be. There's no information. Like, we should probably add another screen at the bottom here that tells us what each of these things does. I mean, it's not like the most prettiest system anyway, but we'll work on that, you know, later. That's a problem for a later time. We just need to get the functionality in there. So what we need to start with is the mod menu. So when we equip something, I think we just need to send a signal out to the mod chip. I think it's called mod chip list, I think. Right. So we've got add, equip, and remove. So when we equip something, we can add it to this. We should also remove it from the regular list. So we've got two lists. We've got the mod chip list and the mod chip equipped. The way I'm going to set this up is that if it's equipped, it's not in the other list. So, it should be fine. I don't think you can lose them, but like there's going to be a little bit of risk there having two arrays, but it's easier than having to work out like if it's equipped, then don't show it in that list. I think. There's other ways to do it. We could just have like it gray. It could just turn to gray when it's equipped or something like that. There's options that we could have. But I think this is probably this is the way I'm going to do it right now. You know what I mean? And I'm going to turn the fan on. Okay. We're out here. So annoying. Alrighty, so let's go about doing that. So we just need to have a signal. We need to create two signals, one for add and one for equip. We're not going to give you the ability to remove them, right? This is when we equip. When we equip a mod chip, we're going to remove it from the mod chip list. All right, makes sense. So in the mod chip, oh, actually, let's start at the signal manager. I don't know if I've made the signals for this. We got mod chip collected, mod chip equipped. Okay, so we just use that. And so in the mod chip menu, the mod menu, when we equip one, set mod chip, initialize, equip. We just go underscore signal manager dot mod chip equipped dot emit, and then emit the slot. I think we just go mod slot dot mod. All right, because the list just has like a list of mod chips. Right, so that should be pretty easy. And then okay, so we also need to account for unequipped as well. So that's something. So on mod, I hate the chip part. I don't like that bit. I don't think, when I do this facing the player, I'm not going to use the word chip. I'm just going to call it mod. On mod chip unequipped. But we'll maintain consistency for now. At least within this. Okay. Unequipped. Let's type that. Alright, hit save. Okay, and in the menu when we unequip, so we've got unequip mod chip, and then we go signal manager dot on mod chip unequipped dot emit mod slot, yeah, down here dot mod. Easy. Okay, so now we have to receive those signals. Now this is a fun thing about resources, is that they don't actually have it ready. So you have to connect these signals another way. Now the way I like to do it is that whatever's controlling this mod list, they do the connections, right? So when we collect one, we emit a signal, but when we equip and when we remove it, okay, we need to call a bunch of signals. We also need a function as well, now that I think about it. Unequip. Mod chip. What's up? And then it's a mod. Okay, and that is just gonna do the exact same thing in reverse. So we just say, we want to say if mod chip equip has this, not return. Basically, we don't return out of it. We actually we find it, or actually we can just go remove that, right? Happy Easter, thank you. Happy Easter to you, Alex Eats Easy, and welcome to the chat. Remove, erase. I always forget. A variant. Okay, it wants the mod. So we just take that off the list, right? But also, we have to add it to... We actually have to add. This is going to be interesting. Because I'm emitting the signal here, which is going to affect the UI. Which we don't necessarily want to do. So maybe we can pass in a variable here. Just call it like with signal. And then we can just say if. And then emit signal. So then we can just go, yeah, false actually. And this entire loop is like remove mod chip. We could just call erase, right? I think it's slower, but that'll work. Okay, but we add it back when we unequip it. When we equip it, we actually have to remove it. Let me pass in the mod. I mean, it's only one line, but you never know. This might become more complicated in the future. So I'm gonna have like separate one. You know, we've got add, we've got remove, and we've got equip and unequip. So let's put them in order: add, remove, equip, unequip. Okay, now we do need signals. So we can go to the player. The player will be responsible for this. Rid of these. See, as the player has a lot of signals on them, they are a signal sponge. Let's get rid of some of these comments. It is what it is. So we want on mod chip collected. No, not necessarily, but mod chip equipped dot connect, and then it's player data dot mod chip collection dot equip mod chip. That's plural. Can we make it singular? There we go. And then we want signal manager dot on mod chip unequipped dot connect. If I can press the right button, player data dot mod chip collection dot unequip mod chip. Easy. Okay, so now we've got the two signals connected. We have to do something. We're keeping track of that in the actual player. So now we can actually set variables and whatnot. So we actually have to use it. You know what I mean? Which is fine. It's kind of funny, like, now that I think about it, maybe you don't even need to keep track of whether or not it's equipped, because you just call a signal. It's funny, we're going to call a signal, and then when we equip it, we're going to add it to this list, and then we're literally just going to go like, I'll probably create a function for this, like call mod, and we'll just pass in the mod chip, and then there's a function within the mod called unequip, right? And it just does its thing, which can be anything. And I do it through the signal manager, but like realistically, I mean, it's probably the easiest way. Yes. Cool. Mod unequip. Could just call these directly, I think, but I'm gonna do it this way. Just because I know the flow already. So it's safer, even if it's more, it's a couple extra lines, but mod dot on unequip, on unequip, there you go. It's just a little safer. Okay, so when we equip a mod, we're just going to call call mod and pass in the mod, and then when we unequip, we are going to call mod unequip. and pass in the mod. Okay, now we're a little bit closer. So we just have to, in theory, make them. We have one to test out. Growling octopus, welcome, with the cheese and the pog chomp. So, okay, so we're calling unequip and equip. Easy peasy. That's pretty straightforward. Now, what do we got for the only mod we have created? How does it work? Grip? Gorilla grip? Something like that? Strong grip? Ultra grip? Oh, we've got a bunch of different names for it. It's not good. Okay, so we are going to override stat request, and we're going to add strong grip to the stats. So there's a global called override stats, excuse me, which has a strong grip variable that we're going to set to true. And then whatever we do with that is up to us. So we can, well, it's in the player, so we know that much. So we can go create the player, go have a look at the player. Player's created. And in the wall slide, basically what we can do is we can play around with this variable and make it so right now, I believe they're subject to gravity, right? Update gravity. So we can say if override, right? Override stats dot strong grip. No, strong. Okay, what's it called? It's an export variable. Whatever. Is that the name of the global? Strong grip cannot find member strong grip and override stats. Am I crazy? That's not the name of the global, I'm guessing. I'm looking at the class, not the global. Yeah. This is like one. Just that's not capitalized. Okay, fair enough. Right. Okay. So if override stats got strong grip, and then you're doing update gravity only if that's true. Right. So you're gonna say pass else. I guess we say if not. Right. Right. Okay, well, we can start that to test. It should be easy enough. Okay, so let's see if it works. I think it'll work. It's kind of hard to test. And so, okay, let's equip. We don't even have wall slide available to us, and wow, that was a really long loading screen. Okay. Grab first mod. It doesn't work. Okay, so we got some bugs. That's alright. I'm guessing this is because there's no mods in the list. Because it's null, right? If first mod. Easy. Okay, first of all, we need wall slide. So let's change our abilities to have wall jump, wall slide. Save. So now we can wall slide, right? Let me just get to a place where that's actually useful, which is here. Right, so how it works is like you just slide down the wall, right? Pretty straightforward. Now if we go and we add this and equip this mod chip. Okay, so we're still falling, but just way slower. I don't think it's working. Like the first time, definitely. The second time, definitely not. Like, I can't even get off the wall. Okay. Interesting. I don't think... Okay. There's multiple... Let's have a look at our states. So we got wall jump, wall slide, right? It really just should be wall slide. Okay, I think not only that, we also have to like set our fall speed, because right now we're not the velocity slide in the enter is getting set here, so we need to do a check for that, and then because then we're setting a constant for velocity y, it won't matter whether or not we're updating gravity. This actually speeds us up, so we also need to say if override stats dot strong grip. If not, same thing. Right. And not only that, else, right? Velocity y equals 0. Because we also have to set it, because if you don't, the velocity that you have from when you're falling will actually just be the one that's set. And actually, if I remember correctly, the reason we even had to do this is because when you come into the wall side slate, your velocity is preserved most of the time, so you have to like reset the y velocity. So if we don't have strong grip applied, then we're going to go to the predetermined wall slide, else it's going to be 0, and then we're not going to apply any gravity, which means we're not going to accumulate the fall speed, because you do start to fall faster in the wall state. I'm starting to remember how my state works. So let's go back to this. First save here. Get rid of that and then just climb up this wall. So right now we have normal. See how it like slowly starts to get faster, and you can see this if I go further up the wall, like you do start to accelerate downwards. And then if we go in and we equip that, it's still not working. Interesting. Okay, so now we actually need to determine whether or not the velocity is even getting assigned to that, because I've got my doubts. So we can probably just do a printout for override strong grip. Print, the easiest thing to do. And then we probably just need to go through and follow the... Can't find... Oh, man, the wrong one again. That's confusing, eh? So right now it's false. Go to the mod chip menu. And it's true, but it's just not working properly. So everything within the mod system is working, but the oh, it like messes with input too. That's really weird. Interesting. Okay, so it's true, but it's not really working properly. How is velocity y being influenced if we're not doing... So let's have a look at the code and just work out how velocity y is coming into this. We've got a ground check. We're updating gravity. If not, override stats strong grip. I'm guessing that there must be some velocity. You know what? I think here you have to emit, right? I would say like you would have to go velocity updated emit. Velocity changed dot emit. Velocity. With any of this to really be applied. Otherwise, because in the player, like how it works is like the state machine doesn't actually control velocity, it just emits that to the character. which works really well most of the time, but you got to remember stuff like that. Okay. Okay. Seems like that input issue is, well, that was it, yep. Still have input issues. This is probably from my change to unhandled input. But yeah, okay, that did it. Now you can't get off the wall no matter what. So I need to put some input into this. Okay. Input, read some input. And also the way that the input works is kind of weird. But yeah, now I just need to go and make a bunch of mods, eh? What state is this? I don't remember what I clicked. Wall slide. Okay, so we're checking for wall jump. That's it. That's all we're doing here. Oh, I guess, yes, we go to wall jump, and the wall jump is the one that's having issues with its input. Okay, so we enter, we've got a direction, and it's always the inverse of whatever your direction is. And then if check input is true, then you start checking the input. My mouse isn't working properly, so we can go to get input. Is this even getting called anymore? We're just requesting the input. Direction Y equals negative input, direction Y. If input is not equal to 0, then direction equals input direction, and then we're returning the input direction. But the input direction is set by state input. State unhandled input. Get input just tells you, and then like updates the animation player. Interesting. I wonder if that's like a good or a bad thing. Well, it's fine, I guess. However, it's not behaving very well here. Check input. I think. Check input delay. To velocity, move. Get velocity, direction. What we want to do. We actually want to use like a separate variable here, I would say. We probably have like a separate input variable. Since we are manipulating input direction. And it's a vector 2. And then here, I make it equal to vector 2 dot 0, and have it be equal to direction on the enter. And then we can say if not check input, then it's just input direction. Equals get input. And then here, instead of direction, we just use input direction. And then we invert that, equals negative direction X. And yeah, in theory, I think that's would work better, because then it's just going to get, rather than manipulating the base variable, because that's going to cause issues, I think. I don't know, who knows if that'll work. It's should be reasonably trivial to fix, but I'm kind of dumb, so Feels better. There's one input. Yeah. I'm not having that same issue, so I think it's working. Animations look kind of weird. Occasionally it doesn't. Keep working on that, I reckon. Is it when you don't? I think it's when you like change too quickly. Feels off. I don't have to look into that. Because you definitely don't want the input to register incorrectly, because that's just going to feel really bad. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have that bug. It's absolutely unacceptable, you know? Wall jump is like a pretty active thing. I could probably just use direct input rather than unhandled input, and it would be much more reliable. I need to do some research on unhandled input, because I feel like the way I'm doing it is like slightly wrong. Because I do have some issues where the character will just keep moving even though you're not inputting anything, because I'm not updating the input checks. What I probably need to do is, even though I'm like reading the input from unhandled input, I need to like update when I get the input, and rather than just using the input direction directly, I can check if it's even being pressed at all and then get the information from it. That might work a bit more reliably. Dunno. I'm not 100% happy with it, but we'll work on that probably off stream, because it's not a super big deal. Okay. Now we just need heaps of them. Like, we actually need to make a lot of mods, right? So we need to make a lot of mods, we need to make a lot of items, and just stuff like that. And also, what I wanted to do, since that was actually really easy, oh, you know what I didn't test? I didn't test unequipping it. Let's go back. But we don't have it equipped now. We go and we equip it. And now we're not moving. And then we go back to this. We have focus issues, but we unequip it. It's still working. And we got a bug. Okay, so now we have a reason to look at that some more. On unequip error calling, on override stat requested callable, node override stat, set override activated, method expected 3 arguments, but call with 2. Okay. Ultra grip. So it's expecting another one. I don't even know what I'm feeding it. An int. And will it just be the opposite? Let's have a look. We're calling override stat request. I forget what that negative number does. I think it might need to be negative. Override stats. Over-eyed. That's spelt wrong. Shouldn't it be override stat deactivated? Reset value? Oh, we're setting it. Am I trying to do something tricky here? I remember I like changed the way this worked just to like set these up. Ultra grip. Strong grip, override stat action. Should there be like a separate variable for this? Well, no, because the inventory, it always assumed that there was like a single use, and so it, the effect wears off after a certain amount of time, right? But here we don't have that, so now we're just going set override stat, and we're setting the stat to whatever, the value, so the amount is false, and the duration has to be a value. It can't be like, it's not optional. If duration is set to -1, this needs to be -1. Should that just be like the default value? If you don't pass a value, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Alright, so I don't think that'll work. The default value is -1, but we're gonna just put it in this for whatever reason. So we should be able to set that value. Let's go back up here. Obviously it's not set, and then go to the mod menu, and then we set it, and then we go here and it's working, and then we unequip it, which we need the mouse for, and it's not. Happy days. Okay. Easy. Okay, yeah, we have to make a lot of them. And then I was also thinking about the options menu because it's pretty easy to fix that up. So we can have a look at the options just so that there's a few more than just the quit button. I actually have a tutorial series on this, so I should be able to do it pretty straightforward. But I think realistically, there's not really that many options. We can have like an H box here, and that'll just finish off our menus basically. So once we're done with this, that'll be all of the menus done, and we can move on to like creating content essentially. It's an H-box container. We need a V-box actually. Change type. And then yeah, then that'll actually be really good. We can move on from, I've spent probably all of March just in menus and like setting things up. We need to create a bunch of content. We need to create items. We need to create mods. We need to create a tutorial section, and then it's just a matter of expanding. I'm noticing we've got a couple of bugs here. Budget menu, on visibility change, index out of bounds. Okay, we'll have a look at that. Data internal insert. And yeah, just go around and polish a bunch of stuff up because yeah, if we have to create content, I don't know when art comes into this. I want to create a bunch of items and other things as well. Items, mods, enemies, bosses, and a tutorial section is probably, and then we can create the levels so that we can actually ship a demo. So I need to create one more boss in my mind for like when the demo ends. One more boss, and a tutorial section and a bunch of new enemies because we need more than just the 3 that we have. H box container. Be like a label. And this can just say like full screen. Right. And then you add a checkbox. A check button. Is there a signal for this? Button up, button down, toggled. Right, okay. This needs to sit well above that. No, that guy was my viewer dealer. I needed to top up. Metabolic buffo. Free test at J74LGO2P. High Crest Online, I think it said. I can still see it in the list. Suspicious user. Just ban those dudes. I have a website. I could easily like pump my viewer numbers, I think, if I embedded the stream onto the website, because I think that still gets views. I honestly don't check. But with the first person shooter template and some other stuff was like high traffic on Google, so yeah, I could just embed the stream and then the viewer numbers would be really high, but the chatter rate would be really low, and I don't know. I don't really care. Could be done. Don't know if I should. Okay, so we got what full screen. What else do we need? Window size. It's another H box. If it's not, it is resizable though, so I guess it doesn't matter. We can add a label. Just a couple of things. Monitor. What did I do? Oh, underscore. And that's a drop-down box, right? Option box. Items, add element, and then there's 1 and 2. Oh, there's ways of adding those automatically, so we'll just leave that. There's probably some audio options as well, like another H box, container. For like audio. Label. Should we just do master for now? There's actually 3 channels. What have I got? Game sounds, music. So everything goes through game sounds. Like I have the master channel, but everything is routed through a except for that apparently game sounds. The way I like to do it, so you can have like, the point is you could put like a dampening effect when you take damage or something like that, and it reduces all music. Anyway, we still want to do the master, so people just call that the master volume. And then it's a slider. Max value 100, step 1. I'll have to go through. I don't actually know. What do people put in these things these days? I always get cranky. Like I played that game the other day. I was like, man, they don't have, a lot of games don't have like to choose which monitor you want your game to be on, which is like trivial to do, by the way. And they don't include that as an option, and it always annoys me. So I think that's like a mandatory option. Tick count, that's fine. While layout, minimum size. I think this should be not 100 Y pixels, but 100X pixels. Maybe even 200X pixels. Maybe the option button should have like a minimum size. But realistically, I could just set this up to expand, right? Where's that? What the hell? Alignment begin. Container default? Is that because I've got it in a center container? What the heck? Do you ever get this? This is something that I often have issues with. Control nodes, like UI stuff. I forget, like I'm looking for the thing that says expand. There's a button that says that you can expand. Is it just like the bottom? See, layout, transform, container sizing. This, container sizing. Where's this? Why does that exist there, but not in the other one? My mouse is not working. I don't know, man. Anyway. The button is expanding. I don't think that needs to expand. I reckon shrink center for this. Option button should expand, but the other one shouldn't. Okay. Shrink center. Fill. However, it's all about like container sizing, right? So like, because I gave this a minimum size, like everything shrinks then. Even if I say container sizing expand, like it's going to be tiny because it's only ever going to be as big as that. So annoying. Whatever. Okay, that's probably enough for now, right? Full screen or not, and then you can quit. What else really is like super important? Like you can have a bunch with the audio. You know what I mean? Like this can be master audio. And this can be music. And then you can have one for the FX. And I'll just have this one control both the FX and the UI. I can't be bothered having separate sliders for each. And I don't like that these are different lengths, so I'm going to change the way that these are laid out. These are set to expand, right? Have them set to shrink again. Yeah, okay. So then this has to like push that. I need a like a separate. I probably need to have like this is just H boxes. They need to be like it needs to be a table or something. You know, because these like don't line up. And in order to do that, I'm just like manually putting spaces, then they're never gonna line up like in game, like when the screen changes size. Bad. Whatever. We'll work on that. Let's just get the code working because it's like add a separator, H separator, V sep between audio and effect and monitor. What? Okay. What? Constant separation and we push it that way? Wait, this is a V separator? It should be a H separator. Apparently. Horizontal? Yeah, apparently that's how it works. Okay. Whatever. Move these over to the left. Okay. I guess you can do like shrink and. Huh. Interesting. Okay, never mind. Anyway, this is simple enough. It's more than enough for like a basic tech demo. Realistically, we need a bunch of stuff here. We need to get access to all of this shit. I'm feeling lazy, so I'm just gonna drag and drop. Let's see the script. Go here, and then we're gonna need to get access to these sliders. We're gonna access this unique name for everything. Oh, I'm on mouses. The game I'm working on uses those viewer spam bots as one of its core mechanics. Really? How does that work? Okay. Master audio. Slider. Music audio slider. It's a game about a fake streamer streaming a racing game. Okay, interesting. And he uses those bots to pump his cash. So are they like just faking the game, or they're like the actual bots? Effects. Yeah, slider. Yeah, fake. Oh, okay. So it's just like the concept of them. That's cool though. Monitor option. Like they do that spam they do here, and then as the player you can click buy. Nice. Monitor option button. Monitor? That's so funny. That's a good idea for like... Is it... You said it's a racing game? Is it like incremental, or is it like game... Streaming a racing game. It's incremental auto racing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like when you said like you can buy it and then like you can get more viewers. I'm like, it sounds incremental. That genre is going off. I've never played an incremental game. I probably need to check them out. Is there like good ones on Steam that I can play? Literally never played the genre, but I know that like it's a popular indie dev genre to make games in, because I think it's relatively simple to make, right? Like in terms of content wise, because it's like the content is just the single game loop and it's different every time. Or maybe I'm oversimplifying it. I didn't until recently. Well, the most well-known Steam is Cookie Clicker. There are a lot of free, usually with in-game purchases. One's on there, and then others off Steam, like Paperclips. Okay. Option button. Okay, so we access this unique name for all of these. Music audio slider, FX audio, monitor option button, full screen checkbox. Why is that cranky? Variable monitor option button is the same name as previously declared variable? Oh, I dragged it in twice. I didn't play any until recently. I play Cookie Clicker and another one, Finn's Dorset's Institute for Livestock Replication. That one is free, but kind of fun. Nice. Okay, so is that all the buttons that we've got? We've got the full screen check. We've got monitor option button. And then we've got a bunch of FX audio sliders. So then on the ready function, we need to set all of this stuff up. So we need to go, so we're gonna set volume, and then we're gonna pass in whatever. We don't need to create a function, actually. Set volume. Set slider, I guess I'll call it. Set audio slider. H slider. H slider. Put a pass there. Let's pull this out. Okay. So this is pretty easy. Basically, you're gonna get the variable. You probably need a bus, an audio bus. Which is an audio bus. Probably not an audio bus layout, right? Audio bus layout is like the entire thing though, right? Stores information about the audio buses. See audio server. Okay, right. Get bus channel, get bus effects, get bus channel. Get bus channel in. Returns the number of channels. Oh, that's plural. What do you do once you get it? Get output device, get output latency, get driver name, get bus volume. Okay, so you need the bus index. Right, okay. Fair enough. So, we just need the integer, or we get the bus index with the bus name, right? So we can just do string name for bus name, which is pretty easy, I guess. Don't change them. I don't see why I would. Get bus index and then pass the index and the volume. Come back. Okay, so this is actually a string name. Audio bus name, and then we go var a bus volume is I forget what you get back from this, but I'll just call it an int, and then we'll say audio server dot get bus volume. I guess bus index. We have to start with that, right? And then we need to pass in the bus name, which is audio bus. Oh, it just wants an yeah, okay, and it's got them here, but like we just want to pass in audio bus name so that we can call this multiple times in the ready function. And then we just say var volume. Is it an int or is it a float? I feel like it'd be a float. Audio server dot volume. Get volume dB or get volume linear. Probably get volume linear, right? Did they create a function? But back in the day, you needed to do like a log to get like the correct number. Unexpected indent on class body. Okay. What the heck? Oh, I've forgotten a bunch of stuff here. Okay. And then we can say let me just read the docs on this. Returns the volume bus index as a linear value. The returned value is equivalent to the result of dB to linear. Okay, so they did add like a function to get this without having to do this dB to linear stuff. Okay, that's nice. Very good. And then we can say h slider dot set value no single signal to volume, right? Now, as a percentage, I wonder what that's going to return. Returns the volume bus at index value as linear. Ah, yeah, it's really interesting. What's that number going to be? Is it just going to be like 0? It's going to be 0 to like negative? I assume. I might have to like print that out. Let's run the scene. Oh, I'm not calling the function. So we're going to go set audio slider, and then we're going to pass in the bus name. So let's bring up the bus names here. It's going to be a master, and that's a string. And then H slider, master audio slider. And then we're going to call that a bunch of times. The music. And then for the FX. And funnily enough, I've got 2. I'm starting to think I really just need a 1. I don't even know if I'm using UI. Just put FX and UI in the same thing, eh? Who knows? I guess I could create another one. It's not a big deal. However, okay, now we've got these. So music should be pretty low in the mix, but it should just be 0 to... These are dB, but like, I don't know what number they return back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so used to thinking in dB. Don't run this, just run this scene. Get those numbers back. Okay, so it's 1 point, okay, so it is 1 to 0. Okay, that's helpful, I think. Like if we look at these, they're like, yeah, okay, that's nice. Okay, great. So I just need to change these labels to like work with that. That's super easy now. They've made this a lot easier since I haven't looked at this since Godot 3. I made a tutorial series on how to like do volume and stuff. And that was a very long time ago. So max value 1 and the step is probably 0.1, right? And the value, just make it 1. I would say, just make these step 0.1 and value 1. And then, yeah, it makes a lot more sense. So you got your master, you got your FX volume, which is basically 100%. And if I change this, it's like make these like negative 12, which is about halfway, right? then change. Actually, it's way further down than you'd think. Pretty interesting. I tend to say like 0.6. Like when I make videos, when I make anything with audio, I say target -6 dB. That's about halfway. Okay. Right, awesome. Okay, so now we just need the opposite. We connect the signal up to these. We can call it funk. Actually, why don't we just create like a separate signal for each one? Easier. We just connect each one with their signals to this script. Signals, change, value changed, value. And then on master audio. And we go, value changed. Connect. And FX value changed. Connect. And then that way we know which one it is. And we can just get the string and we can hard type it like rebels. That's all right. So then we can say probably audio server. We need to get the index, so we can just go. We can copy this. We can say bus index is what, master. And then we can say here master audio audio server dot set volume linear, and then we pass in the index and then the value. Nice, easy peasy. I'll just paste this down and change the name of the yeah. This is music. And this is FX. Okay. Easy. Okay, monitor option. Now we just need to read that. Get monitor options. Right. So we'll go void, and so we can get viewport maybe. I forget how you get this. Monitors, viewport. Is it viewport? Isn't it viewport? Windows. Window.get Windows. I forget what I'm meant to call. Viewport maybe. Huh. There's a way to get this. I've forgotten. I'm just gonna go to the toilet, guys. I have to think about that while I do that. There's a big dog. Okay. I can't remember how to get monitors. I'll check the documentation. What do we say here? Monitor? Performance, get monitor. Monitor option button, monitoring feeds, camera server. Is it like viewport or screen? What is it called? Screen, window full screen? I mean, we're gonna get that in a second. Display server. Oh, get primary screen, get window, okay. Window, get current scene, get screen orientation, gets... Is there like a... Let's go to the display server. I forgot the name of the like class that I'm supposed to use. Damn, it's crazy. What has it been, like an hour? I bring a coffee in, full with like fully hot water. And within an hour it's cold. Which is fine, like I don't mind. It's just black coffee, it's not like, you know, like if it had milk in it, that would be a problem if you ask me, but like, it's just water, so. Okay, so handles everything related to window management, is separated from the OS. That's right. It used to just be OS. That's right. I'm remembering now. Get screen count. Here we go. Here. Shows the number of displays available. This method is implemented on Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Other platforms, this method always returns 1. Okay. Yeah, I do remember all this kind of stuff. I wonder if you can get the screen name. Returns the index of the primary screen. Get name returns the display server name. I guess you could do fancy stuff. Do different things, but X11 and Wayland, depending. Get display count. Returns an array of which get base color, get accent color. Option show, file dialog show. Okay, that's like a lot of stuff, but display server. A lot of accessibility going on here. Get display safe area. Okay. No. Screen get DPI, screen get is kept on, get size, get usable. I want to get the screen's name. If it's possible at all. Set class name, file name, get name, which returns the display server name, not the screen name. Keyboard layout name, set native icon, tablet driver get name, okay. Probably not then, eh? Display name. So get name, let's have a look at that again, just make sure that's not what I'm looking for. Returns the name of the display server currently used. Maybe it's going to be an OS. If returns low processor usage. Full screen. Nothing here. Hardware. I want to get access to your hardware so I can see the name of it. Probably it's too hard. I'm not going to do that then. Whoops, closed it. Okay, so what I'll do is I will get, I guess I can, I don't know what you call it. Monitors. I think it's an array. And then you get the display server dot get display get count. Count, is it? Get screen count, right? Let's go monitor count. And that returns what? A number? It's just a number. And then you can go for I in monitor count. You can go and you can add an option. So you can go, all right, let's just make this big. I know what I'm doing, guys, I promise. We can say monitor option button dot add option. Add item, I guess. The label is, I don't want it to just be like 1, 2, or 3. I want it to be more descriptive than that. And the index will just be I. So the question is, like, what do we do here? Do we go over name, not name, monitor name? I know what I'm doing, guys, I promise. Every developer ever. I literally have a tutorial on this. Like, that is, I think, probably one of the more popular ones on YouTube. It's been so long that I've forgotten. It's got to be like, if you go to YouTube, I'm legit, I promise. Runtime Alex, welcome to the stream. And you type in like Godot, what is it like? Screen resolution? Something like that. It's kind of old, so it's probably not on top anymore. It's not. Look, reality check. You're not as relevant as you thought you were. That's my original one, 25k views. Oh, where's the new one? Only 19k views. Oh, dude, I'm washed. There you go. I'm not up there anymore. But it's like resolution AMD FSR. It's old. So I did this for Godot 4 2 years ago. Damn, Godot 4 is kind of old, eh? When's Godot 5? Dynamic screens. Fucking GWiz mugged me with 120k. That's crazy. Oh, good for him. Monitor name. I know 4.7 has dev builds. I know, how crazy is that? It's so quick. I feel like 4.6 just came out. Okay, monitor name. What are we going to call this thing? So we could just call it like monitor number 00 or something like this. Why am I doing it like this? So I set it up like a string. Equals monitor underscore plus stri, I guess, is like as a bare minimum. And then we pass that in rather than just saying 0. And then also that Godot 5, you started when Godot 4.5 was out, and between prototypes changed to 4.6 because it came out so quick. Then there's a 4.7 dev announcement so fast after. I think the good news is like the incremental updates are not that hard to implement. In fact, you don't even really need to do anything most of the time. When I was working with specific things like IK, it was like, okay, that was a big update, and now I have to go and like fix my course to like update IK. But other than that, like for 2D, it's like, meh, yeah, I haven't really had much. But if it's primary, right? Can we test for that? Going 3 to 4, that was a lot of work. That was actually, it was so much work that I didn't, for like my, for the first person shooter asset that I was making, and I had on itch for free, I just made a new one. You know what I mean? It's just like, too much work. Display server dot get primary screen. Does that just return an integer? const returns the index of the primary screen. Okay, that's fine. And then we can say if primary screen. It's not a string, it's an int. Hear me out. We'll never make Godot 4.5 and just release Godot 4.86. Yeah, just keep doing incremental updates. I have 3.5 installed because I've been using 3.5 for my project to learn some techniques, and I have to translate mantras from it to go. Yeah, that's true. I guess it depends on how experienced you are. And you know what it is? It depends how much you know, right? Because I learned with Godot, I started doing Godot 3, I think it was 3.2 when I first started using Godot. And it's like, I can watch a Godot 3.5 video and know exactly like what to do because I know both. But if you started with Godot 4, I feel like, yeah, actually, and now that you mention it, I remember like if you watch like really old tutorials, like really old ones in the Godot 2, I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. It's almost, it doesn't even apply. You know what I mean? So just, I guess it depends when you start, like how far back you can translate that stuff. You keep a template project easier to find bugs and upgrading that than touching important projects. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, I like if and I imagine it will happen. Godot 5 comes out before I finish this project. You back it up and then you see what it's like when you bring it in, see how much it breaks. And if it breaks too much, you don't worry about it. If there's nothing to gain, then it's not a big deal. So then we just can say if I is equal to, I guess we can make primary on the outside of this loop, and we can say if I is equal to primary monitor, then what? I don't actually know. There are a few things in 4.6 that made me go to it, like the new, the UI is a lot better. Yeah, it's true. Monitor name. Can we like append to the end of a string? How does that work in? Can you like plus equals? I actually don't know. I've never, like all I want to do is go like primary, like that, other than that. String. Can you actually like append to a string like that? I don't know. Operator plus. Yeah, okay. Appends right to the end of the string, also known as concatenation, so you can do that. String append is usually so. Try to avoid. A couple won't matter. Yeah, it's just on the ready. On the ready. That's all we're gonna do. She'll be right, mate. Until it's not. It's really funny. I remember for my tactics, I made a tactics demo, like a Final Fantasy Tactics demo. And someone in the comments when I made the video was like, oh, performance is gonna, it might not matter here, but then if you expand to like a bigger map, it'll matter. And I was like, I don't believe you. And I tested it with a 10x and it turns out, yeah, it did. It did matter a lot. And it turned it from like instant, like the game ran instantly to like the game took like a minute to run. It was crazy. Just that N plus or whatever they call it. Because I was looping through things so many times on the ready function, and then I cleaned it up, and I never made a follow-up video because I'm lazy. Nor did I make that game. One day I will. I think it'd be fun to make a tactics game. Okay. Should be right. Let's see. I'm actually calling this. I need to go get audio, get monitor options. And then see. Right, you can select the monitor and it's monitor 0 plus, and that's the primary monitor, and then there's monitor 1. So that might help people identify which is which, since I can't actually get the hardware name for each one. And then we've got the full screen button. Okay. Create a function for that. Pretty easy. And then we actually have to do something with this stuff. Get full screen. And then we just go set, what do we do? Full screen? There's a bool. And it's equal to, this is actually not get, this is set. Full screen, button, checkbox. If I can type. And then we're just gonna go to, I guess it's display server again. Is it gonna be the thing that knows? Window mode full screen. Get window mode. Window mode does not occupy the whole screen. No, this is a constant. That's like, we're gonna set it to that. Go back up. How do we set something to full screen? I've completely forgotten everything. Windows set mode. Window, is there a window get mode? Mode, window mode. Okay. Oh, so it's actually going to return a constant, which is pretty funny. Is there like a get, window get mode? Window mode? Oh, come on. Window get mode. Here we go. Window. Ah, I guess it's just 0. It's all the default. But what does that return? I'm guessing the constant. It returns the window mode. Helpful. Let's read about those. Window mode. Mode windowed. Doesn't occupy the whole screen. Mode minimize, mode maximize, mode full screen. And then exclusive full screen. With no, has no decorations. The display is not changed. This enables immersive mode. A new desktop is used. Okay. You don't use this from memory. So, okay, so if it's 0, we make the checkbox. So this is actually going to be an enum. It's actually going to be a window mode. A display server window mode? Or is it, it's just an int, really. And then, yeah, we say if 0, if full screen is equal to 0, then we go and we set the check, which is like an F's full screen checkbox. Dot set equals false. On the Mac side, you can move the primary window around. I filed a ticket in V3 and got nothing sorted, but it's a gap that's controlling the OS versus the OS working from the engine. Interesting. I don't plan to support Mac. I tell you what, if it's successful, I will. But I guess like it would be like you can still run it through Proton or whatever the heck, and whatever it's called in Mac. And then it still probably has issues. Equals, is it checked? Like, how do you sell? Like, ticked? Equals false? How do you set a checkbox? Toggle mode. Toggle? Icons. Is there a function? It's a checkbox, right? And here it's button. Oh. So I guess if it's not pressed? Dude, I've forgotten so much. It's actually crazy. I guess I go match, right? Like, it probably makes more sense to go match to display server dot window mode. And then if, match full screen. Let's say match full screen to display server dot window mode. Too many windowed, then press false like this, and it's not happy about that. So what does it say? Cannot assign a value to a constant. Toggled? No, that's a signal. What is the variable I'm looking for? Button pressed? If true, the button state is pressed. Okay, we'll try that. Window mode windowed, window mode full screen equals true. Try that. Start there. Let's run this. Okay, well, I guess it's not checked. What happens if we set it to be... I get any bugs or anything? No. Full screen check. History. Inspector. How do we set this as... It's disabled? Button pressed. And then run it? Expect it to be unpressed. It's not. I'm not calling that function. That's why. I created it and then forgot to put it in the ready. And now it's working. Okay, good. That is correct because it says button pressed here. So now we know that it's the correct thing to check for. Okay, so now we actually have to set the behavior for all of this stuff. Well, actually not this stuff. We've done this, so now we just need option for this, signals, item selected, right? Connect that. It just passes an index, which is really easy because we can just go display server dot set window. What is the set screen maybe? Screen window set screen. Is it get window dot set screen? Current screen? Get screen transform, mode screen. Huh. I've forgotten how to do it. Is inside tree screen. Splash screen. What's going on here? Move child, remove child. Do I have to refer back to my own project? My old template? God damn it. I will just go there and go to watch my own video to remind me how to do it. Did I like put this on a GitHub? I did, great. Full screen check, full screen checkbox, resolution option, vsync, screen selector, there we go. On screen selector, get window, mode, get mode, set mode, window, set current screen. Windows set current screen index, okay. That code looks pretty neat. I've gotten lazy. Set current screen. Is that no longer a function? Did it get... Why is it not coming up? It's happy. Okay. Let's see if it works. Yes, it does. However, it should be on monitor 1 to default with. So when we're getting the options here, we also need to know what our current screen is. So we can go current screen, and that'll just be an int, and we can say window dot get current screen. Assuming current screen, and then we can say if I, probably after we add the item, if I is equal to current screen, then we say to set the option, monitor option button dot set selected. Select, and then I wonder if that will pass that thing, eh? And now it says monitor 1 because I'm not using my primary monitor. Okay. And then, okay, the last thing we need is full screen. Button press, that's pretty easy. Connect. And then we can just say get window dot set. Wait, do we know if it's true or not? Pressed. Oh, if it's pressed, I guess toggled on, right? We actually want to connect that. Toggled on, bull. Just connect that. Close that. We want to know if it's set to true. We can say if true. If toggled on. Then we can go get window. Dot set mode. Mode exclusive full screen. That's not how it works. I'm just going to copy this from my old project. Easy. Straightforward. Okay, so now we have some options. It's no big deal. So if we run the game, these should all show up and work just fine. And we can change monitors and stuff like that. And go to full screen. Can't really see that it's not checked, but it's there. That's easy enough. That gets us over the line in terms of like what people expect to see. Although, to be honest, people don't often use this monitor. I actually think this is like a mandatory thing. This is just my hot take. You need to include this monitor option in your options menu, because it can be like, it depends on the person, but I don't like to use my primary screen. My primary screen is left just because like most operating systems default to like the left side. But I prefer on the right because like that's where I'm looking. And it's helpful, especially for like when I'm streaming, for example, because then by default, if I open a link in the chat or something like that, it opens up on my left screen. Anyway, okay, so that is that. That was super easy. So now it's just content, right? We're just gonna make some content. Woohoo. Okay, the hard part begins. Put some water. So the thing, it all comes into play. We need to create some mods. I was thinking a lot of these are really easy because we have a lot of stuff that we can just sort of change the ability from. So it's really just going to come down to like what we want within the player to change. Goosefat is in the chat. Happy Easter, Goosefat. Hope you're doing well.
Meow.
We have to create one more boss, which is going to be a difficult one to create. A tutorial island, tutorial starting point. We need to create like the start of the game, basically. And a bunch of levels. But probably easiest to start with like the mods, right? So we got Ultra Grip. What else can we do easily? We got Sprint. We could make Sprint a mod. Like, Vile Plume Dude. Welcome to the chat.
Happy Easter, I'm alright, brother, doing naughty stuff.
Brother doing naughty stuff, alright. Where's the debug overlay? Should be invisible by in-game menu. Actually, it might be in the game state. Kind of annoying me that's on by default. I have to go. See you later, dude. Okay, yeah. And then we can get to that. We'll disable that when we export. Map abilities are there. Oh, you know what we don't have? We don't have a description. We need to add a description to this, otherwise people aren't going to know what the heck is going on here. Okay. Chip menu. We're actually not in the code right now, but we'll go to a separator, and we probably just get another separator going and then just put that at the bottom. Annoying. And then add like a text box, I guess. Rich text? Rich text label? And this is just going to be called mod description. Access is unique name. Getting tired of doing exports all the time. Okay. So then when we hover over something, we gotta set the text to this. Otherwise blank. Get mod slot, create mod slot, on visibility changed. How do we actually keep track of what's selected? Current mod selected? Unequipped mod, current mod selected. How do we actually set that? On mod selected. Mod chip rich text label dot text equals mod, well, current mod really, dot description, mod chip select, current mod selected dot mod chip dot long description. There we go. And if current mod selected, we just go set text to equal to blank. How does that look? Probably like shit, right? It just crashes. Long description on base nil. Okay, yeah. Wait, what? Current mod selected? On mod selected? Current mod selected equals mod? How could it be nil? What the heck? Invalid access to long description on base object type of nil? Oh. I know why. Current mod selected dot as mod dot mod chip else. Actually, you know what? It'd be cleaner if I do it and just get the text and then set the text. There we go. Mod text. This is string, and then we set the mod text to be that, and then we make it blank to begin with, and then we say that the mod description rich text label dot text equals that. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, it's not even visible. It's all the way down here. Interesting. Surely we can say that this should have a fill. There we go. Yeah. It increases the power of the magnet grip gloves and holds onto the wall firmly without sliding down. Okay. Good. Good enough. Alright, so we need a list of like different ideas of like different mods that we can make, because we need to make like a couple. Obviously we've got like ultra grip or whatever we're calling it, magna grip, hold on to walls. I want one that is like auto fire, so it's like right now you have to spam the button. Auto fire equals like automatic, like hold to shoot continuously, but less damage. Hover 1 second. I don't know what you mean by that. You mean like for the text? And then, so we've got auto fire. We can also have like sprint. This already exists in the game, but we can put this behind a mod, right? So like after dash sprint. I don't know if I want to put that in a mod or not. But we can lock it behind a mod. It's super easy. Same with like dash invulnerability, dash iframes. Right now that it's just there by default, but we can lock that behind a mod. What else is there? I wanted to, we also like, so obviously we want to have like stuff that does different things with the weapons as well. So we have hold to shoot continuously, but less damage. We could do all sorts of things. My imagination is failing me right now. What else is there that the player can automatically do? So there's 4 that we can just create without having to do much. I wanted one that was like an energy barrier, but you lose energy, right? Before health. So it gives you a couple of extra hits, but you lose your energy, which you also use to heal with. I think that could be fun.
This is a Game Shop's jam.
Okay, what the heck? Welcome to the club. Sung by Game Chops, I guess. Nice. Energy buffer, but you lose. What else is there? I'm doing like... I have to think of something. You just like flat damage increase. When you take damage, you like push things away. Like create distance. Actually, that's a really good one. Like create distance, like force field, force enemies away when taking damage. So like when if something hits you, you like emit something and they'll get pushed back. These all require like custom nodes and stuff like that. It's gonna be like work to create them, but I think it could be fun. What else have I seen? Slowfall, I guess. I don't really like slowfall, but yeah, you could have that as a mod. As long as it doesn't sequence break. I mean, sequence breaking is kind of the point of this. But yeah. I'm gonna save this. Save as. Development projects. Metroidvania. Mod ideas. It's gonna take ages to implement all of these. Well, some of these are super easy, but like others are more difficult. Definitely more effort required. Is that what you mean, Bone, by like hover for 1 second? Like that could be a mod. You could like press it to like stop you from falling. I guess that's slow fall. You could have like a hover or a slow fall. Yeah. What other things are in our player that we can manipulate easily? Let's look for some easy wins. Player. And then short teleport, but it's your game, so I don't know the limitations. I mean, I already have a dash, so that's kind of like already there. It depends how short you mean. So we got wall jump or slide. Obviously that is something you unlock, but we can make it better. Dash, we can give you the iframes when you dash without actually giving you the iframes. And then we can make you heal faster. Right now it's already super OP anyway, but heal against a minute, velocity 2 equals 0. Yeah, okay, so faster heal. Oh, way to go. I guess you could also have like a faster recovery. Faster damage recovery. These are all variables within the game that we can manipulate. There's a term called evergreen mechanics. These are permanent to the player and power-ups that make it a lot of those features stronger and less grindy. Okay. Evergreen mechanics. Permanent to the player. Power-ups that make the... Power-ups after that make those old features stronger and less grindy, yeah. So yeah, it's like, okay, we can have the dash, but then once you get the invulnerability, it's going to make it more powerful. And you can turn that off and on depending on what you need. So like maybe you're struggling against an enemy and you can't, like, you need to be able to shoot faster or whatever, I don't know. Faster damage recovery. So the heal... The heal rate is 20. So if we can manipulate the heal rate to create the feeling of it going faster, I think. We're just multiplying that by delta, so that if that gets bigger, then it's bigger number. I need a be right back screen. Big frickin' laser. I do want to do one like that, actually. Huge rockets. Actually, was my idea. Okay, I really have to go to the toilet. I just have to leave you. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I do agree with that. Define all the evergreen features for the player. Limit the player to a small set of power-ups. Yeah. We need a spreadsheet. Actually, rather than a notepad. Because, yeah, we're going to need to know how everything combines with each other. Backup. Development projects. Mods and power-ups. Okay. So this first column, I guess you would be like your power-ups. We'll call them that. These are our evergreen stuff. I'm lagging. And this is going to be like your dash, your double jump. right now, and wall jump. Well, wall slide / jump. It's 1 power up. I think those are the 3 that I have. There probably should be more, right? Let's have a look. We've got dash, sprint. Yeah, dash, double jump, and wall jump are the 3 that we have at the moment. There probably should be at least 1 more, I feel like. Question. Depends on the size of the game, I guess. Like maybe... So those are definite, these are potential. That are not implemented. Actually, I should say like not implemented. So like maybe you do like a hook. This would be hard. Like a hook shot kind of thing. Like from Metroid. A defensive one. Oh, actually, you know what? I do want to do a parry. Excuse me, a parry. Yes, I do want to do a parry where you... Well, it's like a parry / block. Where you can use your energy to either block a shot, or if you time it right, it's going to get reflected. So if the projectile comes and you parry it or block it. So that is something I definitely want to do because I have an idea for like how that's going to get implemented. Hook shot, less so much. Like we'll put these in order of soak the damage, yeah. So it's like either you time it or you get it. If you mistime it, maybe you take a little bit of damage or something. I don't know. Maybe if you parry it, you don't use energy. Something like that. And then hook shot, yeah, maybe. Hook shot's a popular one. Like the Metroid hook shot, I didn't really like. But like I've been playing through Mio, Memories in Orbit, and theirs is pretty good. Although that game probably requires you more than others to be like airborne, and I don't like that as much. We don't have anything to like let you move through small spaces. So you could do like an energy, like a phase, a form that allows you to like move through smaller spaces. I don't know what that would be, but it's fairly common. I'm not super enthusiastic about that. I'm gonna put it lower on the list. Wait, that's it. Fuel should go down to 1 cent. A glide with no energy. Okay, yeah, like a booster. I like that. No, it's not really. Yeah, it's like yeah. Let's just call it glide. In head canon, he has like boosters on his back or whatever, and he can slow fall. Slow no fall. These are all just states. That's super easy to implement, actually. This one should, like, we should probably have, like, let's just put that in yellow because that's actually really easy to do. Because you can just, like, create another fall state with a slower gravity. You know what I mean? Like, with either 0 gravity and just put a timer on it, and once the timer reaches 0, then it deactivates. So that's actually a really easy power to do. Parry is actually going to be really difficult. Expel all remaining energy at once for a super shot, only possible with full energy. Okay, not bad. Power shot. Full energy consumed. Full energy consumed. I guess charge shot is like a fairly common one, like in Mega Man and Metroid. Since we are doing that, we could have a charge shot. Convert energy into hit points to regenerate. We already have that. Although it's something you just have by default. It's not a power up. So actually, maybe we should default. So you've got this. We can move this down. And we can create a new, not implemented. No, it's okay. You don't know the project as well as I do. We can have like starting states, right? So you've got like, obviously you can move, you can jump, and you can heal and shoot. What else is there that you can start with? I forget. So obviously we've got run, jump, fall, and then these are the ones that sort of like, I could change the order of them so that they're the ones that unlock at the bottom. But if we look at the state machine, you can actually look at what you start with, which is obviously you take damage and you die, but you've got your fall, you've got your heal, idle, jump, power up, which is just like a hold state. It's fine. Run, turn, and vault. Okay, so it is really just heal, shoot, and vault over objects. So those are the ones that you start with, and then you have to get these ones down here. The power-ups, you get the dash, the double jump, the wall jump, and then we need a couple more probably to make it feel like a more full game. So we've got the parry block, I think that's important. Glide, super easy to do. Power shot, or a charge shot, something like that would be good. Yeah, what if you did like a super shot? Actually, this might be like if we... Okay, so these are sort of permanent power-ups. How do I add a single... Control Shift plus or Control plus? Insert row. These are permanent, right? Permanent powers, right? And then if we look at like modifications, and these are permanent. I guess it's more like non-timer. They're not on a timer. I'll put this in another cell. Not on a timer, but can be added via the mod menu. There's beeping happening in my house. Hang on. Also, goose fat, the fuel should go down to 1 cent. I don't think it's going down anytime soon. There's just nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. It is what it is. Modifications, not on a timer, but can be added via the mod menu. That was my dehumidifier that was beeping, by the way, if anyone was wondering. Okay, so we got the mod menu, which is where we had this thing come into play. And then I feel like there's 3 types. There's like attack types, right? So these modify your attack. And then there's movement type. And then there's like defensive types. Right? So you have sort of different types where you could say, I just had an idea for one where it was like, you do more damage at the cost of energy. Did I add that already? Faster damage recovery, huge rockets at the cost of damage, right? And then I also like the idea of like a drone a drone attack, a drone helper that attacks. I don't know what I'd call that. And then, what else is like auto fire, but less damage. So this is a trade-off on that one. Right, and then you've got movement type. So you've got ultra grip, and that does like hold to walls, like no fall when wall holding. And then you've got sprint after dash. Sprint. Right. And then iframes, dash iframes. I'm not super keen on this. So after dashing, or invulnerable, I don't know how to spell that, when dashing. Doesn't know. Okay, walk, run, dash, teleport. Well, how is teleport different from dash? I guess if you can like choose where to go, maybe. Then we've got omnidirectional. Ah, true. Because the dash is only left and right now. Although, also I want to make it so dash down, a down dash, which is like the pogo in this game. So like instead of like attacking, because like Guy doesn't have a sword, so there's no downward attack pogo, which is pretty common in a lot of these Metroidvanias. Instead, we're going to say like if you down dash and you hit something like an enemy or like some kind of thing, you'll pogo off it. You get your jumps back, you get your dash back. But it's pretty interesting. I guess we could call it like a slam. I do actually want this. And that's our pogo. So I think vulnerable when dashing. I guess that's more like of a defensive type. All good stuff, yeah. I guess we could say like dash is multi-directional. That shouldn't be that hard to implement. Dash, because that's like, you know, you just have multi-directional instead of side to side. Wonder what the lore reason for that would be. And then we've moved slow fall into this, so I wouldn't put that in the thingos. And then energy barrier. So energy barrier before damage. But obviously you lose your energy. Once you start taking damage, you won't be able to heal. And then we've got faster heal, faster damage reduction, faster damage recovery. These are super easy to do. I'm gonna put like a bolt on those. Attack type modifications. That's a good start. I feel like we need a lot of these. Like a lot of games have so many. Faster damage recovery. Drone helper, auto fire, huge rockets. Rocket barrage. Oh, enemy. Yeah, this is a defensive type. Energy barrier. So this is a force field on damage. Also, what about like a longer duration? Longer invulnerability duration? Right? That's pretty easy. So like if I rate these on easiness, these ones here, faster heal, faster damage recovery, longer invulnerability, sprint after dash, ultra grip's already done, do more damage at the cost of damage, that it's like not what I wanted. Auto fire but less damage, and I think that was do more damage at the cost of energy. I think that would be easy to do, but I don't know. But these ones here, auto fire but less damage, ultra grip, sprint after dash sprint, and faster heal, damage recovery, longer invulnerability. So those are all really easy because it's just a variable, right? We're just manipulating a variable. And those are like preferred. It's a lot easier for me to just like come in and adjust a variable rather than actually sort by code pane. Yeah, exactly. I guess I'll just color code them and then like sort by color. So like dash multi-direction I think is not that hard, but can we make these more green as well? Is that possible? Those ones are just a variable change. So it's super easy for me to do. Do more damage at the cost of enemy. Dash invulnerability is also, because that's already there. So I just take it away and then put it behind a mod. Energy barrier before damage. Force field on damage. That's actually pretty hard. I'd rate this yellow. And then these ones here, rocket barrage. Do more damage at the cost of energy. It's hard for me to say. I think that might be a yellow. And then these ones, drone helper, rocket barrage, and force field are like actually going to require me to add new components to the game, right? Like a force field is going to need, it's going to be a node, it's going to need to be an area, and it's going to need to be activated and deactivated. And also it's going to need to interact with enemies. So like knowing how to do that. The enemies are going to need to have code on them to like actually respond to that. You know what I mean? So that actually might be the most difficult one to implement. Rocket barrage is just another node. It's probably a state that we can add and take away. Drone helper, that could be easy, could be hard. We could just like take the enemy and then repurpose it and make it see the enemies as its enemy, if that makes sense. It could be easy. Make it see the enemies as its enemy. Charge shot's easy. Glide slow fall is easy. Something notified me. I don't know what. What's happening around the world? What time is it? 9 AM? Hook shot, that's super hard, I think. Power shot, full energy consumed, that's a yellow. It's not impossible. Small form, that's also pretty easy because we just changed the shape of the character. But I don't know what that would be. Make rockets and projectiles first and then a magnetic repulsion, repelling sets. And repelling set of functions, yeah. And then there's things that can work into this. Like if you do a hook shot, then you can add like a longer hook shot for your that. You could actually, you know, for like a movement type, you could have like dash further. that's not that difficult. That'd be easy to do. Like if I'm looking at the powers I already have, you could jump higher. How would that help you? I mean, it's sequence breaking. Do you want that though? It's easy to do. Lots to work on here. Down slam pogo. I do want that in the game. And I do want parry. So these ones I definitely want to do. I need to organize these into like need to. Not implemented need to. And then not implemented unsure. So, small form, I don't know. Charge shot, I don't know. Powerful shot, full energy consumed. That sounds like fun, but it should be like an attack type, maybe. Not a permanent power. NA Games, welcome to the chat. How's it going? Happy Easter. And then unsure. So we can do those three for sure. I think that's, well, glide's super easy. And then these ones I'm not 100% sure on. I suppose charge shot could be an attack type. So it could be a modifier. I guess things that I don't necessarily want to make a permanent power up. It's 1 AM. Happy Easter. Oh, yeah. Been partying. Easter Sunday, Easter Saturday. I went and saw my family yesterday, and I ate lots of sweets. Casual drinking, nice. In solitude. I mean, if that's what you wanted, then nice. Okay, so we've got a couple of things to work on here. Powerful shot, full energy. I reckon charge shot, just make it a mod. It's not like, I don't think we want to make that like a groundbreaking thing that you unlock. We'll keep like permanent upgrades to like movement related stuff. So then if you have a glide, you need to put a timer on that, like glide duration increase, right? That's super easy to do. If you have a down slam, let's say, right now I'm saying that, if it's separate to dash, it's not a big deal, but, how do we modify that? How do we, like, make our down slam. That's the other thing I need to do. I also need to like add spike reset damage for like platforming sections. I haven't done that yet, and I do need to before the demo comes out. What is this spelling? It's probably a decent amount to start with. We can make some of these. Without icons, we need icons. We need a default icon. It's A sprite. I think it's 64 by 64, right? I can't remember what I do. Let's just open a file. Sheesh, my Australian is getting serious. Yeah, we're trying to plan out all the different power-ups and stuff. It's because there needs to be a lot, right? So you end up like having to plan them out and stuff like that. UI, mod chips, empty icons, strong grip. So what does this exist in? sprite canvas size is 48 by 48. Okay, that's a choice. Okay, let's move this off to the side. Let's create some simple icons for these. Auto fire, but less damage. I suppose that would just be like, I would do a circle and I would represent it like this. Put this in the center, put this in the center, put this in the center, and then do like little ones so that they like look like they're shooting. This. Pixel art. Export as. Auto fire. I suppose now that I've got the description, I don't necessarily need symbols for them for me to be able to tell if I have them or not. Yeah, that's probably fine. I probably don't need to go and create them first. But I do need to create the mods. Is that exist in the player or the scenes? Player? No, it doesn't exist in the player. Where's the tools? What's it called? Ultra grip. Scripts. Oh no, scripts. Okay. Create new resource. The mod. Right. And then we just call it like auto fire, I guess. Don't capitalize it. That's actually incorrect. It should be called like this, auto fire. And then just auto fire. What happens if it doesn't have an icon? Does the game crash? Probably does, right? Do like fire continuously. At the cost of less damage, but lower damage. And then we have to do like the arguments for that. I guess we have like an that's saved here, auto fighters. Put that in both. Okay, so how do we actually implement this? Auto fire but less damage. So we go to the player, we create a variable within our weapon manager to allow us to do that. And it did in the past, so we know we can do it. It might even be here if action is pressed. I wonder if fire ready shoot. Buffer remaining, shoot buffer time. How does that, because I thought like unhandled input was, is it called every frame? I don't actually know how unhandled input works. I thought it was called every frame. I don't think it is though. It's called more often than the other one. So it is only called when you're pressing the button. Okay. Interesting. Not sure how I managed to make my movement code work with that, but I did. Which is fine, I guess. Okay. So we can check in the process function if fire ready shoot. That does give us automatically, and if you go to shoot, it just shoots, right? Does it go continuous if you just do that? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it just goes on a timer. It's already there. So then we can add this to like we can add another variable. Is it shoot buffer? Like what allows us to just continuously shoot like that? If fire ready, right? So my question is, it's a lot slower than, you can shoot way faster if you spam. So if you release the key, if action is pressed, if fire ready shoot, else shoot buffer time remaining. So how fast is fire? Fire rate remaining, weapon fire rate. Fire rate false. Play sound effects, shoot buffer false. When does fire rate get set to true? Yeah, fire rate remaining. Having 2 is kind of confusing because I'm pretty sure shoot buffer allows you to shoot way faster. Shoot buffer time? See, it's set to 0. Shoot buffer time is shoot buffer time. Is just 0.1. So that's how you control that. But the fire rate remaining, which is like how fast you shoot, is set by the weapon data fire rate. So this is kind of bad. This is pretty early code. Because one's controlled by the weapon data, one's not. If you make that like the same, then you would shoot quickly when you hold it down. Which is fine, because that's kind of what we want. But I need to like look at this code. But then what we want to do is, if this is allowed, we only want to do it when, like, if we have the override stats, or we can just directly signal to this. So we can have like a variable pretty easily set as auto fire, right? And it's set to false. It's a bool, and it's equal to false. You know what though? Where does the damage comes from the weapon data, right? Fire rate, bullet speed. No, it doesn't come from the damage. Where does the damage come from? Huh. Fire direction, fire ready. We spawn a bullet instantiate. Node 2D, bullet. BB, it's a bullet. I guess the damage is on the bullet? Because we have to reduce the damage as well. Player bullet? Extends bullet. Okay. Oh, I'm so confused. We're diving into the one player hit successful. Chaff, is the fire direction normalized? Probably not, but like, does it matter actually? That's a good question. Let's get back to the weapon. Fire direction is get fire direction. Oh, it is, yeah. Direction.normalized. Yes. I feel like I would have noticed that. That's like a dead giveaway. Once you know about normalization, I feel like in games you can tell immediately whether or not something is normalized. Play sound effects. How do we set the damage? I'm verifiably confused. This stuff is old as heck. Not damage. We want the bullet. Basic bullet. Oh, it's on the hitbox. Damn, that's a hard place to get to. I don't know about that, guys. I don't know if that's a good place to put it. Basic bullet. This is player bullet. So here, in the ready, when it exists, we could actually set the damage. So we could... Well, not even that. We can create a function on the player bullet called set damage without breaking things, since the hitbox is determining how it does damage. The hitbox does need to know how much damage it does, because it's the thing that decides when it enters the area of an enemy, it goes, hey, you got damaged. Here's how much you got damaged by. But we do need to set that damage, right? Mount. And it's a float, and it returns void. Oh my god. Does the basic bullet have access to the hitbox? No. Hitbox. I haven't had to think about hitboxes in a second. Hitbox.damage equals amount. Right, so now we've got a function. When we create the bullet, we can actually tell it how much damage it does rather than... And so the weapon data really should, like, it's got a fire rate, it should know. Like, if we're going to create, like, multiple kinds of weapons or anything like that, not that I have much planned for this, but, you know, we have a damage amount here. It starts off as 10, right? And, yeah, it gets set. So then we go back to the weapon, and we say that when we spawn this actually is a player bullet, right? And then we add child, and we can actually just say bb.set damage is equal to weapon data weapon data damage, right? Can I find damage in weapon data? That's not, it's going to be capital letters, weapon data.damage. And then we can go plus, or we could even have a thing within this where we get damage, right? And it returns like a float, right? And then we can say var damage, DMG is a float. Is equal to, you know, damage plus multiplier or minus plus minus, like override stats or something like that. However you get to this number. So you could call this like base damage and then modify damage as just a variable. It has to be an export, right? As a float equals 0. It does mean we're gonna have to connect to this somehow, which is kind of annoying. If I do it here, we could do it in the weapons. We could set the mod damage, like when you, yeah, we could do it that way, that's fine. Mod damage plus mod. So get damage is that, and then it returns DMG. Right. Is it happy? Damage not declared. Base damage. I don't return it. Oh, yeah, return the float. There we go. And then in the weapons, we just go weapon data.get damage. Right. And then here we can connect for a signal. We can create a function called set damage. Set mod damage. And it takes an amount. void. And then it's weapon data. It's a constant right now, so it's not even something that you can change. I just want to set it up so that in the future, if I do want to make multiple weapons, it's easy enough to change it. Although that means this thing is going to need to change. Like we need to set up like a current weapon or something like that. But it's pretty ingrained at this point, so I guess equals amount, right? And then we also need set auto fire. On set auto fire. Activated. And there's a bool on set auto fire changed. On auto fire changed. Like that. And then we pass in a toggle. And it's a bool. And then we also want to pass in the amount, right? Like change in damage change. To float. Just make it default equal to 0. So then we can just say that auto fire. Since auto fire is here, so auto fire, yeah, I'm gonna have to have a look at how my weapons work, I think. So we just like we can make it work for this. Auto fire equals true, and then we can set mod damage and the damage change amount, right? Why is it cannot assign a new value to a constant? Oh, really? Interesting. I didn't know you couldn't do that. If a constant has a variable, you can't change the constant's variable. That's a fascinating one. I guess we can make a function. Would that work? I think this is how I do it in other. Yeah, constants get referenced rather than duplicated. I just thought you could change the variables within the constant, but like, I guess not. If you have a variable, you have to set them, yeah. Set mod damage. Mod damage equals amount. Do it like that. Happy days? Happy days. Okay. Auto fire equals toggle. If you want, you can just add duplicate and it works good enough. Yeah, true. No, I'll keep it like that. Fine. Okay, so auto fire changed is the function we want to connect to, but we also need to actually create a signal. Signal list is going to get gigantic. It's already massive. Is this like, what if we put the mod chip equip, mod chip collected? Where is the velocity changed? Override buff changed. So this is going to be like mods and buffs. I guess that's why I like override buff change is like kind of nice because we've got a global for it. But this requires more, I think. Signal on auto fire changed. And then we've got the toggle, which is a bool, and mod damage amount, which is a float. Okay, so we've got that, copy that. And so for the mod, what is it called? Auto fire? That's a lot of signals. Oh my goodness. Am I crazy for thinking that's just normal, right? Like how else do people deal with that? In a global, if you need global signals, Like, I don't know, I need to talk to somebody, or you know what I need to do? I need to probably like decompile like a big Godot game and see how they do this. Because like, this is how I'm doing it. I've just got a big signals list, and that means you can connect or disconnect to that wherever you want in the entire game if you want some information. But like, yeah, I don't know. How else do you communicate with things? On equip args. So we set a bool to true, and we set a float to be -5. Okay, and on unequip, we set the bool to false, and we set the float to 0. Right? So we'll call that signal when we equip or notify changed, and we'll pass in these variables. In theory. So now we need to add that to our mod chip list and test. And then for our weapon, I don't know if I set the weapon data. No, just weapons, plural. And then we're gonna go to, that's auto fire by false. I don't know if we ever, so here we want to say if fire ready and auto fire. We shoot. Shoot doesn't even work now. Awesome. Okay, invalid assignment of property key damage of type value float on base object type nil. The hitbox doesn't exist because I never set it, so I always forget to do that. Okay, so we can't auto fire, but if we go to the mods and we equip this, we still can't auto fire. It did nothing. Interesting. Ran out of Vegemite, had to use Promite. Ew. I hate Promite. Vegemite I love, but yeah, Promite's never really been my thing. And autofire. Autofire changed. Toggle bool. We never connected it at the other end. Signal manager dot autofire. Autofire changed dot connect. Callable on autofire changed. There we go. Okay, so no auto fire. Mod chip menu. Auto fire. And that is a very fast auto fire. That's a lot. You do a lot less damage. I think it actually even slows down the game. Kind of fun though. Can't shoot those. I feel like it needs to be just a tad slower. I don't know if I've completed this encounter up here. It'd be fun to do. I have. Let's reset it. I want to do it again. Reset encounters. It's one of those things, it's like, it's one of the reasons I turned off auto fire, because it was on automatically by default. And I turned it off because I just found that I was just holding it down and like spraying around everywhere, which is fine. I think it's okay to have as a mod. But yeah, I think that it's too quick. That is pretty fun though. So what controls that? I think that's just in the weapon data, right? I made it the shoot buffer time. I made it the same as the shoot buffer time, so you can shoot as fast as you could spam, which is probably too quick. We changed the shoot buffer time. How do we do this? We could set that amount. Right? Fire rate remaining. Weapon data fire rate. That's what controls it. Or, hear me out, we could have it be a part of the actual modification. This is the fire rate. Or it could just be like a part of the weapon that you're using. That's fine. Let's just double it. I think that would be good enough. None of this stuff is saved as well. I do need to address that. It's a bit better. Now it won't feel too OP. You do half as much damage. Is that too much? Yeah, I feel like this is a little bit more fair. You're coming under fire a lot more, but you don't have to shoot. Ouch. So you're gonna take damage because you're too confident. Yeah, okay, that works. Easy. One mod down. Oh wait, I never actually tested turning it off. Let's do that. Theoretically, it's fine. There we go, we can do shooting. Now we can't. We have to press button. Sweet as. Nice and easy. I gotta just check on something and I'll be back. Okay, what am I thinking? I got a lot of things to create. We're one down. Go back to the spreadsheet and we put like a strike through. It's not very readable on the... So, do more damage, auto fire, but less damage. And then where's the strike through? Dude, LibreOffice kind of sucks, eh? Format. Sparkline? I don't know what that is. Strike through. So we said that we've completed that. And we've also done that one as well. Is there like a fast way to do that? Don't think so. Okay. What does sprint look like? As a symbol. Is it like a person? You know? It'll look like this. I like that. Export as. I think that works. This should be really easy to do. Actually, you know what? I take that back. This is going to be a little bit more complicated than I want it to be, but a sprint. Actually, we go to everything is already in place to do this, but it's just like a little bit of extra. So we need to create the resource. So we need to go to like wherever Ultra Grip is. What is this folder called? Chips. Create new resource. Sprint. Oh, actually, it's a chip. It's a mod, right? Mod chip. And it's going to be called Sprint. Lowercase. Stick the lowercase. And then it'll be called like, let's just call it Sprint for now. I'll think of a fun name later. And it's like maintain some speed after dashing. Right. And then we will go to, the symbol is like sprint. What did I call it? I exported that, right? UI mod chips? Sprint. Ew. Sprint. Oh, I've lost it now. Ah, so annoying. Put that there. Put that there. Maintain some speed after dashing. Now, it's actually not that complicated. There's already a signal in place. So if we look at this dash object, this is a state. And it already has like an array, like it adds a dash, right? And there should be really like a dash jump. I need to add that. But it gets access to the player. Okay, so how do we do this? We got player state data unlock states dot keys, and we pass in the if. Well, okay, we do all the code here. If player has, and we go player state data dot unlock states. I wonder if there's a way. Game data dot player, game states dot player data, and then we add that. Basically, Player data.state unlock states. We added to the unlock states in the player data. Interesting. Oh, this is to check whether or not to do it. And then we add a movement state. Body.add movement state, because it's player character. Okay, so we have a function called add movement state in the player. Is it connected via a signal already? And if not, why not? There's no signal manager for states. On player data state change, state string, active, bool. There is. How does this work? I don't think this is what I think it is. This is for the UI, I think. We connect set movement state. Add movement state, remove movement state. Oh, there is a signal for it. Okay, that's positive. Oh, and it takes like a variable, right? Add, remove movement state. Interesting. Am I using this? If active, else. This must be something I'm using for like when we load up the game. I don't know, but I can piggyback off this for sure, right? This is super easy. So we go on player state data change. So if we go back to this, we are going to call this signal on player state data changed, and the arguments that we're going to pass in are two strings. They are going to be sprint and sprint jump. String. Where's that? Maybe at the top, right? String. Sprint. And sprint jump. Now, it's expecting two variables. We only add one. Interesting. Call variables. Set movement state is expecting a boolean after that. And it's set to true. Right? Active. We add it as a state. Otherwise, we're going to remove it as a state. Lock state. So we can add probably just one then. One state per argument, per like thingo. We can add sprint. Sprint jump, maybe just have that by default. Move item. So on the dash. Anyway. And then for the unequip args, it's 2 and it's the sprint string. And then a bool. And it's false. Okay. And then we add this to the player's mod list so that we have it without having to collect it. What chip list? Sprint. Like that. Now, I don't know what I've got already. So we already have sprint. Let's just turn it off. Change abilities. We've got the dash. We've got sprint. See, we've got sprint fall and sprint jump. We need a way to get those two. We probably need to change the way that function works. So now... What? Okay. That was unexpected. Dude, what the heck? Where am I going for that? Try reloading? I've never seen that before. We go the other way. Wow. That's an interesting bug. Moonwalk feature, yeah. It's funny, you make these like little minute changes and then all of a sudden. What is going on here? Are we just... Wait, I'm really curious. So, in this state, let's add back sprint. Change abilities. We have sprint, then it's fine because it goes dash into sprint, right? It knows what to do. Also, the character looks a little bit messed up, but that's just the frame rate issue. We'll have to address that at some point. But then we take away sprint. Change abilities. And it must still be in the dash state. I can only assume that it doesn't exit the dash state correctly. If character is on floor, if input action is pressed, if action is pressed, go to sprint or run, and then if it's idle, this is a bit of a spaghetti state update. In the update function too, goodness. If character is on floor, yeah, I don't know about this kind of code. This looks bad. Let's fix it. Okay, so we're deciding within this state update, right, when we're dashing, we're saying that if the character is on floor, if dash duration is less than 0, then if we're on floor, go into sprint. If input dashed is sprint. Oh, you know what it is? The reason for this is because the way that the state machine works is if you're not in, if you don't have the state you're trying to go to. So the state machine is saying, if the input is, if you're pressing dash and your dash is finished and you still have a direction input pressed, then you should go to sprint. But it should go to run, right? If action is pressed dash, otherwise you go into the run state. Now, we probably need to have an extra check here, which I suppose we could do instead of like having this actually just unlock the state. We could have like a global variable that we just check. You know, that's easy enough. Kind of like we do with the wall grip. So we could just have like override state sprint enabled, else go to run. You have to have both, and then it'll just hit the else statement and go back to running. You know what I mean? And if input is pressed jump, this should really go to sprint jump, to be honest, no matter what. When we're dashing, you just get like an extra jump, be a faster jump. But yeah, this here, global variable is way easier. We just hit that global variable and we'll go to sprint rather than doing anything else. Override stats. Sprint visible equals true. Rather than having to like do any kind of detection, it's way easier if I go override stats dot sprint. You know what I mean? And then else run. Super easy. Okay, so then we need to go into, I guess let's test so that we do the enabled and disabled. So that's not working. Not exiting the state like I expected to. And it's also going the wrong direction. I thought it was hitting here, but I guess I must be wrong about that. Unless override sprint is enabled, but did I just like make that true by default? I did. That needs to be false by default. Let's save. That's funny. Right. Okay, so something to think about. Let me just clear some enemies out. I can hit them. Ouch. Need to turn on auto fire. So, we have a dash, and then we go back to run, right? I'm not going into sprint dash like I want to. I need to do more with this input checking. It's no good. Because like, you are not going into... If you have a directional key... it doesn't detect jump. There's a lot going on here, but I guess we've fixed this issue. But there's more to it. So if we say input is action left or right, then we're gonna go get velocity. Okay. I'm not sure what that's for. Else velocity 0. If input is jump, then so like this is this check needs to go first, right? If input check is if character is on floor, if input is press jump, go to sprint jump. If that's not pressed, check the left or right, and then either go into sprint or run depending on the override stats. Else, after all of that, go to idle. We're still not doing a jump. I guess, oh no, I don't have sprint jump enabled, that's why. Change abilities, sprint jump, sprint fall. There we go. I don't know about this. I need to think about how this all triggers and goes together because it doesn't feel good. It don't feel good, man. Ouch. You jump higher, but I would rather you jump further. And also, there's no coyote time, which feels really gross. Also, like, you should just jump immediately. Like, honestly, if you are pressing dash and then you press jump, it shouldn't be at the end. There should be like state unhandled input here. Where if you are pressing jump, if input is press jump, then you go into sprint jump. Because, yeah, it shouldn't just be at the end, it should just be as soon as you press it. I need to change the abilities to sprint fall, sprint jump. Okay. Let's hit save as we're testing this. That feels better. You jump as soon as you say. And you get the added height. So normally you can... I don't know about height though. Like I feel like it should just be distance. Because you're moving faster, but you don't necessarily need to... Ouch. Stop. I use LLM's music DAW with SPF for test audio. Sounds cool, dude. What's that for? That's nice. That feels better. I can't shoot when I land. That's funny. Okay. It probably doesn't exit. Sprintfall doesn't have an exit state. I don't know. Let's fix up the actual mod for the sprint. This is actually going to be the same as Ultra Grip. It's just easier. How do I do that though? And strong grip. There's a string name. Set to on. So is it string name? Where is this? Yeah. Sprint with a lowercase. LLMS is a DAW, right? I use Reaper. It's not free, but it's kind of free. I paid for a license though. Reaper is cool. I like it. Just needs to have a -1. Yeah, I mean, for me, like when I was making music, it was like, I don't know, I think I did try LMMS and it didn't click with me, but Reaper did. Is that like the same? It is, yep, great. Okay, yeah. So this should work now. So we sprint, but we go back into regular run after sprint. And then if we go to the mod menu and we equip that, we go into mood walk mode. Okay. And that is because we don't have the state unlocked, because it is actually a separate state. So what we need to do is for this to work correctly. Oh, I'm going to die because these guys don't ever chase you properly. For this to work correctly, we need to make the state unlocked when you unlock dash, which is fine. We can do that. Has a copy of classic special effects lib. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it allows you to do some pretty cool stuff. Change abilities. Add sprint, and then save, and then escape, and then add that, and now we're sprinting. And then we take it off, and we're not. Okay, the mod system works. And we have two ways of getting to it. We can either like just access a variable directly via a signal, or we can just put it in the override state, the override global. If we, you know, like if it's just easier that way. It really just depends on what we're doing. If we think we can control it with a simple like Boolean variable, then yeah, we can put it in the override states. If it needs more attention, like the other one where it's like, okay, you need to do two things, so you have to call a custom function. So we're gonna signal directly to the thing that we're trying to affect. I suppose this one could be either way, but like it's a lot easier to do it this way than it is the other way, so we'll just do that. Now in Facility 01, when we get the dash state, we've got dash sprint. We also need to get sprint jump and sprint fall. Right, when we unlock that. Okay, and now I want to test when we don't have any of these things. I just want to make sure this all works correctly. So if I go to my abilities, if I go to this and I go to change abilities, I take off dash, sprint, jump, fall, and all of that. And now I hit save on that. So now I can't dash at all. I'm just running forward. Nothing happens. And then we get through this encounter. It should be pretty easy. Especially because without the auto, you do a lot of damage. And then we unlock this dash. We've got the dash jump, which feels really nice, although it is a very big jump. That's a lot, you know? But, and then if I add this, we can sprint. But he looks at, the sprite gets a little messed up. And now we can jump extra high. I don't know about the height for the dash jump. It feels nice. Now what was I realizing? That after this you can't shoot because I think you're still in a dash fall state. So you can shoot, can you shoot while you're, yeah, you can shoot while you're falling normally. So sprint jump and sprint fall need to emit the signal to allow you to continue shooting, I think. See this? Shooting disabled. Ended. To actually... We need to emit that signal when we exit the state. Even where we're exiting... Hurt box monitoring, dash emitting. So actually... Let's have a closer look at this. So it's supposed to end here. But if we exit out here, then we're not getting it. So if I put that in the exit, then that should really fix that. Change abilities. Dash, sprint, sprint, sprint. And then... yes. Now, we fix that problem. Yeah, that's what it has. And I guess in sprint, we don't really want that in sprint. We'll have to work on that. Probably shooting disabled and enabled in sprint as well, because I imagine within sprint we can shoot, and I don't really like that because you're going to be like moving faster than the bullets. We'll make it like there's a trade-off when you sprint. Change abilities, dash, sprint, all that. Gimme. And then go across here to the mod menu, add that to the mod menu. Yeah, you can sprint and shoot at the same time, which I don't like. Make it, it's too strong, you're too strong. Make you a little bit weaker. Yeah, it looks weird too. On top of that. So we can emit shooting disabled, entered to the weapon manager. Now I believe this is just, if I go to dash, it's just on shooting disabled ended. Sprint. Shooting disabled entered, weapon manager. Connect. And then shooting disabled entered. Pick. And shooting disabled entered. Connect. Okay. But then you also need to emit those signals. Don't forget. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. So when we enter, just steal it from Dash. Hitting disable to emit. And then we'll create an exit function. That gets called automatically when you enter it. And then you go to Dash. And you do the same thing in the exit function here. Shooting disabled ended. And you put that there. Okay. Mod chip menu, equip. And then I don't know if I have the abilities unlocked. Change abilities, dash, sprint. Now you can't shoot while you're sprinting. Okay. Problem solved. Alright. We've done it. Shall we end there? I gotta go and actually work on content. Or something else, I don't know. Oh, goodness. Happy Easter, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Or night, or wherever you are. Let's do a raid. Is anyone online? Sir Dark. Search and filter, category, tag, Godot. No worries, dude. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I guess it's public holiday, so I can, you know, go longer like we did today. Hyper game dev, software and game development, Godot, POC. Hyper game dev, is it English though? Web development. Main menu improvements, VO2, Luid in Godot. It's definitely Godot, I can tell you that much. Yeah, this guy's working on Godot. Some people put Godot in their tags, but they don't actually put Godot. Alright guys, thanks for stopping by, I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a good day.